Hello, everybody. Fearmy Games here, back with another episode in the Guild Wars faction playthrough. I'm gonna do my best to have energy. This is actually my third attempt at recording this video. First attempt, I actually went all the way through the video before I realized there was a problem. And then the second video, I noticed it 10 to 15 minutes into the video where there's problems started. Um, I was able to identify when the problem started to occur, so I'm hoping I fixed it. Um, I think the problem has been that I upgraded to a new monitor, which I love, looks great. For $665, it is so much better than my old monitor. It's not even funny. Um, but it's 1440p instead of 1080p like I've been using all these years. And I think it's putting a strain on my graphics card. Because what happened is I get to the point where I'm like, oh, this is looking great. It's great. We're going through it. And then suddenly the FPS tanked to 20 to 30 FPS. And I like it started at one of spots. I think it just couldn't handle everything it was trying to run. Um, I didn't notice that the first time around. Second time I noticed it because I was actually watching it this time. And I did a couple of tests after that attempt, found out the problem. Well, the problem didn't crop up that time, so I'm hoping I fixed it. I tried CPU recording. Let's just say I found out CPU recording is not an option 2 minutes into that attempt, so I'm not even calling that an attempt. My CPU is just dog shit, at least for video recording purposes. But we're back. Couple things to note for regarding that video for the first attempt is decided to keep that attempt on YouTube, but I'm unlisting that video, keeping that unlisted. I'm calling it 30 episode 30A. This was going to be the proper 30 episode. I'm going to put it in the description. I'm also going to try putting a pinned comment as well. If you guys are interested in that video, I would say probably the first 10 to 15 minutes is issue free. And I want to say like the set last 10 minutes or more of the video is starting free. The audio's fine, from what I can tell. It's primarily the video that's stuttering because the FPS just we couldn't handle it. With the settings I was using, I had to reduce some of my settings when I was doing my testing. And I think I got to a good point. The reason for that being is that there's some quests you guys will not see in this video because of my first attempt, where I did the entire quest and I turned it in. Um, for example, the Gaki quest, finding the Gaki, I found it, killed it, turned in its body, and then turned in the quest during that video. Um, the areas where I'm in House Shelter are fine. So if you guys are curious about like the dialogue is for the quest, things like that, it's all there. That is without any issues. You also get to see my attempt at using an MX Brio, which I'll talk about later on I want to get this going as soon as possible. Anyways, but I'm gonna put it down in the description. But also try to remember to do a pinned comment down below for you guys to try and so that we guys can see if you're wanting to. But if you don't want to, this is gonna be the definitive episode 30. Barring any issues, but if there are any issues, you're not seeing this video anyways. Um, Another thing you're not going to see is I actually accepted that primary quest from Countess Helter, where um, because now I have Defenders of the Forest. So you guys won't see that last bit of dialogue unless you watch that lost video due to the Stutter Wars. So if you're curious about it, feel free to check it out. Don't feel obligated to do that at all. Um, feel like it's trash. Don't worry, I understand. That's the reason why I decided I had to record a new video for you guys because I just didn't feel right making that your official video. So I actually abandoned multiple quests for that way you guys can get the start of it. You can see how it goes and get the feel for it. So I'll be replaying a little bit of old content, but for you guys, as we hopefully, well, you guys probably Guild Wars 2 so already done it, but hopefully new video content from me. Anyways, let's get into it. So, Scholar Andrich. The ancient forest is a wonder. I could marvel at it for the rest of my days. There is so little that we know about this magnificent place. It's ironic, really. We Kurziks spend our entire lives in this forest, and yet most of us never leave the confines of our houses and cathedrals. I myself haven't wandered out there for many a year. The wardens have made it far too dangerous for anyone but the bravest adventurers. As a matter of fact, I'm currently conducting research to determine why the wardens of this forest have become so hostile to us. But I'm in desperate need of some samples. Obviously, I'm unprepared for the harsh conditions of the deep forest, but you all look as if you could handle yourselves. If you're willing, I need you to kill a warden, a dragon moss, and a stone Kirin. If you asked me this last episode, I would have been able to tell you I killed all three of those in Arborstone, but we'll still take this quest. He's offering us 3,000 experience, 750 faction, 250 gold, and equipment resurrection. The accept deny is a bit normal here. It says anything in the name of research, or it's too scary up there. Of course, I'm accepting the quest, the Ancient Forest. And we're going to go into here to Vasily Ludgardis. So I mentioned this one in this version of the recording, but we turned in his Gaki quest, and now he has a follow-up to it. So he says, the melodic Gaki flute will secure me my fortune. That is, my fame and fortune. But I must fulfill my potential. My potential and perhaps more fortune. Fortune to share with my fellow music enthusiasts. If the melodic Gaki is a myth, the Discord Wallow is but a memory of myth. Yet I have reason to believe one of these very creatures does exist in these lands. The Discord Wallow is said to sing a song so horribly out of tune that I believe it may have protected at least one wallow from the Jade Wind. If I can get my hands on the singing of the last Discord Wallow, my potential would be fulfilled, and at last the secret of creating the finest lyres in the land would be mine, and yours, for a small price. I'll even throw in an advance based on my projected sales, factoring wages and other cost overhead. Now, go find that Discord Wallow, Sinio, or I can't save you money. So reward is 3,000 experience, 750 Kurzik faction, 250 gold, and equipment requisition. Like I say, my favorite kind of target, the last kind. Or the denial is, it used to be about the music. Forget it. I'm going to still accept the quest, but I actually do like the accept and die options of that one. I like both of them. But yeah, this is definitely something with my wife, who's a wildlife kind of person, was definitely be like, probably I would say, be like, no, do not kill the last one. It's not the right thing to do. But she's not here to stop me. Well, we're gonna go in outside. This is a repeatable quest, so anybody's faction farm, though it's not the most efficient way to farm factions, so I personally wouldn't recommend this one. But if you're in a pinch and you really don't have any other options, it gives you 400 faction each time you complete it. Could be worse. He says, another outsider who wants our help, eh? Well, if you want help from the Kurziks, you'd better be prepared to help us in return. The Luxons think they can outlast us, but we have enough supplies to last for years to come. Our problem is getting the supplies to those that need them. The troops on the front lines, those Luxon cowards keep attacking our supply caravans, and I can't spare the guards to fend them off. We need another way to get the supplies to the front, and I'd say you fit the bill. Deliver these supplies to Quartermaster Mikhail, and then we'll talk about what help we can offer you in return. And I'll say at delivery, sure, sounds simple enough. He's offering 2,000 experience, 400 Kurziks faction, and 150 gold. If you say no, you tell him to find another postman. Oh, I almost forgot. Kurzik Priest, I'm going to pay you 100 gold, so I get plus 25 maximum health, plus 3 health regeneration, and every time I kill a creature, I get faction. So we're going to kill some of these guys here to fit our way. What's actually kind of funny is during my test, because I was trying to rush to the area where I identified it as the problem source. It was actually so funny is I was able to bypass this area so easily and avoid finding so many mobs. that I was like, dang, maybe I should have just done this for my actual videos. But this is, the more traditional way that I kind of have been going about it. Admittedly, this patrol was closer than the other patrol was on my first attempt. Is my blood song still alive? Yeah, he's still alive and kicking. Just making sure. I was like, should I respawn him or is he dead? He's alive. I mean, well, it's a spirit, so he's not alive, but you know what I mean. He's not gone from this world. We'll say. I think that's the right way of putting it. Well, I don't think I put it in this video yet, but I would appreciate a little bit of feedback. Just telling me how it looks, the 1440p resolution, how my webcam looks. It's the same one as I originally had it, but I've messed around with the settings a little bit. I do think it makes it look a little bit better than before. I know one of the problems with my lighting is that I have a light for this side of my face, but not for this side. Beyond my ambient light that I have up. So I know it's not perfectly balanced, especially because the webcam that I was using, the camera I was testing was on this side. So it's actually on the same side as the picture coming in, but this one is actually on a different side altogether. Yeah, there's no mana in this group, so we're fine. I'm gonna use this on Mox, finish off the target next to him. Of course, you run away before my spell finishes. How rude. And also, I changed my mic settings because I was hoping with these changes to my mic setting, it will reduce the amount of the microphone picking up my sound of my mouse clicking. So, yeah, definitely, if you don't mind, just leave a comment just telling me, hey, this looks good, this looks bad. I'll do my best to get it fixed. There's only so much I can do. At this point, I've actually, to continue my attempts on maybe trying a different webcam, I've decided to try using my old camera, which is a 4K camera, but can do like 1080p, 60 FPS without any issues, supposedly, according to its specifications. It's an older Olympus camera, but I bought a capture card and a micro HDMI to HDMI port. So I'm gonna test out probably not the next video you guys see. If depending on what time it is by the time I finish this video, I'm thinking of doing a second video for you guys today. That way I can kind of get this Sunday and next Sunday out for you guys and just kind of start getting a buffer up best I can. Dang, Luxon's trying to stop me from... You know what's weird? Is that I'm pretty sure my last attempt, these guys weren't here as often. But I do feel like they were here during my first attempt, so that's a bit funny. But either way, let's kill some Suxons. Yeah, but we'll see how that pans out. If I do end up reverting back to this webcam, I'll need to get my wife her own, because this is my webcam, but the reason why I've been trying to look for a new one is that she's been borrowing it because she's been using it a bit more than I have. Recently, because she's been streaming with a friend of ours. If you guys see in the comments, Lady Ishka, that's a friend. You feel free to say hi if you see her. But they've been streaming over on Twitch together, and so she's been making webcam. She's not as big a fan of a webcam as me, but out of the 3 different options I've tried, well, 3 counting the webcam that I already have, this has been so far the best option in terms of quality. The other ones were all locked at 30 FPS. The MX Brio, which is, I want to say was like, I think I bought this one, it was like $100 when I first bought it, like 6-7 years ago. I bought this one because it was one of the few, if only, modern webcams at the time, because this is before COVID, where everyone was using webcams, where it was at 1080p 60 FPS. So that's why I bought it, more than any picture quality or anything like that. But it was so weird as I bought the other ones because they came 4K 30 FPS and 1080 60. I'm like, great. These guys are going to blow my current webcam out of the water. It's going to look great. And the MX Brio, despite its advertising on my computer, maybe even though it said Linux certified, maybe it's just this Linux computer, it was locked at 1080p 30 FPS. I don't know why I couldn't get 60 like I can with this one, but I feel like the minimum amount of webcam should be is 60 FPS. I feel like if you go any lower, I mean, I don't. You guys saw my video attempt, the last one. That was 4K at 30 FPS. I didn't notice any extreme issues, but I feel like it's cleaner with 60 FPS, especially because I'm recording at 60 FPS. So it feels like it feels like I should have the webcam match, even if it might be higher resolution. So that's why I'm kind of continuing my search. I returned both of those. I'm still waiting for my refund from Amazon before I buy another one. Supposedly mine's going to be issued for the webcam, for the camera by the 21st, hopefully. And then I'll try. And then if my initial experiment doesn't work with my existing camera, I might look at I don't know what to do. I would like to get a camera because I don't use an iPhone or smartphone or anything like that. So my flip phone doesn't exactly have the best camera. So part of me is wondering if I might want to invest in an actual DLSR or mirrorless camera. Those things go for $600 minimum, up to $1,000 for a decent one. I'm just like, damn. My TV was $600. My monitor that I just bought is $265. The TV, thankfully, has been a few months. But I'm when I look at that, I'm like, damn, that just so I can have the camera and a webcam? Ooh, that's a lot. Hey, let's talk to Johan, and we'll complain about my woes another little bit later, maybe. So he says, quiet. I think I heard something move in the bushes. Says, yes, I know of the Black Moa. It's an evil creature, to be sure. Some say that it roosts in the depths of the underworld and claws its way to the surface to feed upon human flesh before returning to the pits to spawn more of its accursed offspring. I'm afraid that Rutger was wrong, however. I do not know where the Black Moa resides. Go to Melandra's Hope and speak with Eric Lutgardus. He was with us when the Moa attacked. Provided he hasn't purged that wretched memory from his brain. He could tell you more. Okay, sir. But in terms of webcam, I think I think I gave it a worse rap than I think it deserved. That was the one that actually in the previous video, episode 29, where I was using that camera, I was deciding whether or not I was going to return it or not. I did return that one. Because I was like, wow, there's so much pixelation on my shirt and the background stuff. Even though my face looked really nice, I liked the colors on it. I wasn't a big fan of the 30 FPS thing, but I mean, as long as it didn't look super obvious, I was willing to overlook that fact. Because it was only $118, supposedly 8K photograph camera. But I was like, I took the picture, and I'm like I compared to my wife's iPhone, though I realized I accidentally didn't use the maximum testing, but I tried still taking pictures of my dog, and I didn't like the way the pictures came out. But it was like, and maybe I didn't give a proper fair shake on that front, but I was messing with the MX Brio, and I noticed that the MX Brio, I turned off backlight compensation, so I didn't realize that was on by default. And I was like, oh my god, this MX Brio has the same problem. What's going on? And then I found out what the problem was. Was the backlight compensation. I mean, I don't think it was necessarily the cause of it, but it definitely made that problem a whole lot worse. This guy's telling me to go. Oh, that's a completely different map. Anyways, we'll keep going this way. We have a supply line to deliver. One thing I've noticed with these Ferndale quests here, so actually there's another one I did on the previous video attempt that you guys aren't going to see, is that if I leave the map, I lose the quest and all progress I made on it. So before I move on, I'm probably going to be prioritizing. Is there no healer in this group? Looks like there's no healer in this group, but I don't have enough focus to kill that Mesmer. So I'm going to try and destroy that. Where's these guys? Just try to kill everything around him. Grab these spirits here. Oh, that guard, there is a healer. Never mind. Oh, excuse me. Peace. I just didn't notice he was here. Unfortunately, you did die before my destruction can get full value out of it, but maybe this guy's in range. Oh, perfect. He was just in range to get some damage off on him. But not in friendly range my ancestral rage. I'll keep that in mind. Let's see. This one says in the area versus adjacent. So that's why it's a bigger AoE. But then I turn on backlight compensation. I'm like, oh my god, this thing is gone now. The FPS is still a problem, and I don't know why it's locked to this really low FPS. Yes, I think I can defeat all of you. Damn it, I can't move very much. I was hoping to shimmy, do what I usually do. I'm trying to shimmy my Spirit of Destruction to a better spot, but that didn't work out. And they're dead. Easy clap. Alright, let's move on. But I did that, and I noticed it's like, wow, I fixed the problem. Maybe it wasn't the camera's fault that I didn't like the webcam quality. It must have been this backlight setting. I felt kind of bad about that one, but by then I'd already returned it because I was like, I want to get this returned so I can get my refund as soon as possible. Maybe use it on something else. And we got Chip by Wardens in the flank, so I think all the Luxons are thankfully dead by this point. I'm going to spawn my Spirit of Destruction here, and I'm going to just try and blow these guys up as best I can. My Bloodsong I think is still alive, but just in case it's not, I'm going to resummon it. Pull up my Spirit of Destruction to hopefully kill both these guys. Didn't kill them, but did at least weaken them both to the point where now they're dead. So it makes me feel that much better about myself. Oh, now another patrolling group's aggroed onto us. I've been keeping an eye on my encoder as like a hawk during the beginning, middle, and like I've just keeping an eye on it for the last probably like 5 to 10 minutes ever since we got to the point where I noticed problems last time. I haven't been watching it so much, but as far as I can tell, I seem to have fixed the problem, so hopefully attempt number 3, well, I'm going to call it real attempt number 3, because then there was a couple of not real attempts, I'm going to say, because those attempts were less than 5 minutes. You get my pain. But on a more positive note, you're getting away from my webcam shenanigans I'm still trying to experiment with. It's always the funny thing is it's like experiments, hope to find something that is better, but actually the thing you had all along was the best option. But yeah, I do feel kind of bad though. Even like despite the 30 FPS, I do think that camera looked very nice for webcam purposes, not for pictures. That's very sad. I feel like I didn't give it a fair shake once I realized that setting might have been the cause of why I then decided to return it. But on a good note, though, I have greatly increased my Blu-ray collection, my 4K Blu-ray collection, and slightly, not significantly, but slightly increased my normal Blu-ray collection because I was looking around because I like to do my research before I buy things as best I can, at least. And I just noticed that everyone was saying the 4K transfers complete dog water for dog shit, let's just say, for the Terminator 2 4K. But I still want Terminator 2 because I love that movie. And I heard that the 2015 release was probably the best release for it, for Blu-ray, not 4K, just standard Blu-ray. So I picked that up and got it. I haven't had the time to watch it yet, but yeah, that's very nice. But I've also gotten a few other things, like I've gotten all the Sonic movies. I liked all of them. What's funny is people have said the third movie is better than the second at first. While I do agree the third movie had felt like it didn't have any weird out of place pacing. Like, I'll admit the second movie, even though I still like those scenes either way, I think the scenes of the humans versus Sonic and Tails on their journey were vastly different. Not vastly, but it was a noticeable difference in tone compared to. It's a noticeable difference in tone compared to how it was, um, how the different parts were. Though this one didn't have that same problem, but there's also some just weird moments um, that kind of like I didn't think were improvements from the last of it. That kind of took me out of it slightly, but overall, like on the Blu-ray, it was very nice, and I overall enjoyed the story. My wife did actually end up falling asleep near the end of it, but I think that was more the time and less the fault of the movie, maybe. But she did feel like there's more weird parts in the third movie compared to the other ones we've seen. Says you have proven your worth, Outlander. Weak critics are in your debt. So if I had left, so I'm going to show you examples. So I'm going to take this guy's quest. I'm going to be doing this next part. But if you guys take this guy's quest, and then you leave to Luke Gar's conservatory, because I actually did this. I accepted that guy's sacrifice. I'm like, great, I'm going to go in here, sell my inventory because I was getting pretty full. I think I'm actually in pretty full here too. I'm just going to go back out, do his quest. And then I was super confused because his quest wasn't there anymore, but that's because it reset and is now over there. But which is very interesting. I didn't notice that before. But yeah, you know what's actually kind of funny? I wasn't really paying on my first recording. I wasn't really paying attention to the dialogue the Luxons were having, and I did not notice that they were shouting, "We can't let them get to the front lines. You have to stop them. Get the supplies." I just thought they were just random enemies that were spawning in to attack us, and I was just like, "Wow, you're really going in on it, aren't you?" and it's like this is just a lot of Kurz elections. I'm surprised. It did not make the connection that was the cause, which I do find kind of funny. That I noticed that now. So I'm gonna be doing here is so 4 current quests. Before in the episode I'm gonna kind of give you guys an update of where we are. So for the main story, we do have a new option, but I'm gonna prioritize doing the secondary things first, just so that way we can get all the way. We don't have too much side quests built up. We can get it kind of all knocked out as best we can. But on that note, this one is in an area south of where we are, Drazak Thicket, which I think is in similar direction as where these guys are. Yeah, which basically is actually the same direction as the main quest, which means we're probably going to do Discord Wildfire last. Then we have 2 of these guys, which actually I think 3 of these quests, no, 2 of these quests, take us to Melandru's Hope. So I definitely planning on doing those. I don't know if it's gonna be. It might not be next episode. Because I think I'm gonna prioritize Ferndale and trying to see if I can find JQ, get the J Quarry out of the way, and getting defend Fort Esplanade out of the way. I think both of them are connected to this map. I have to double check. J Quarry might actually be in Melandra's Hope, while Fort Esplanade over here. I'll probably double check between parts. But this is going to be the end of this part. Next time we're going to be doing this guy's side quest because just kind of show it off. It's a patrol where we're basically going to different locations where Luxons have infiltrated the forest, and we're going to try and drive them away. Like we do. And I think it's a good time to show it off. Maybe go to Fort Aspenwood while we're at it. But we have to walk all the way back. Talk to the floor master first. So that's a bit of a downer. I don't have any mobility skills. I think it's still kind of fun. But I do appreciate you guys watching my 3rd real attempt at this video. And if you guys are, as I said, if you guys are interested in watching my first attempt, stutters and all, I'm going to be putting a link to it in the description. I'm going to be putting a pinned comment down below if I remember, to that unlisted video because I did upload it. Because I was debating back and forth whether I was going to post it or not. I decided I'm going to unlist it. If you guys want to see all of the things that you guys didn't see in this episode, plus some of what you guys have seen in this one, feel free to go there. You also actually see a prelude of what's going to be happening the next episode, because I actually did this quest in that recording as well. That's why that recording is 52 minutes and not 30 minutes like this one is. So I wish you guys a good day, night, evening, wherever you guys may be. See you next time.